Good morning everyone and welcome to the middle of nowhere. This is very remote country here in northwestern New Mexico. I parked right there. You can see a blue, I think you can see it, a blue F-150 parked there. Also, that guy camped here last night. He still has some camping stuff by his car. I camped about 20 minutes from here and just drove here early this morning, and I'm excited to explore this area. The main focus of today's video, of today's adventure, is a hike, possibly 1.5 hikes, and that might make more sense later, but really the plan is to hike this area and show you guys some pretty insane rock formations. So I'm looking forward to it. And already just 2 minutes from the trailhead, we're getting into some really interesting terrain here. This place, this area, is called the Valley of Dreams, which is an awesome name, by the way. But within the Valley of Dreams, a lot of these individual rock formations also have their own names. This cluster of 3 little spires here, these are known as the 3 wise men. This is the mushroom seat. There seem to be a few different clusters of these rock formations. There was that one right by the start, and then this one like 10 minutes later, and then the third one, what I think is the third one, has what seemed to be the most impressive, the most well-known formations. And so that's where I'm headed now. There's not really a trail here. When I look at the map on my phone on the Gaia GPS app, there is a trail marked, like it shows a path, but there isn't a trail as far as I can tell. It's more of a choose your own adventure through this area. So if you do come here, don't expect to find a nice, well laid out trail that's easy to follow. You are going to want to have a map downloaded to your phone for offline use, and so just make sure you're prepared when you come out to a remote place like this. Look at this little ditch right here that's just completely filled in with tumbleweeds, loose tumbleweeds. And there's some horses in the background too. There's one right there in the middle, a couple others right there in the middle. I'm continuing to head just left of them here. I'm seeing lots of little pieces, lots of little shards of petrified wood here. I can take a look at this, for example. They're just all over the ground. You know, you hear the term rock garden thrown around, but that is what comes to mind when I look at this place. It really looks like the rocks are sprouting out of the ground here, doesn't it? They're on their own little stalks here. That is so neat. The reality, of course, is that the rocks compact the softer, that grayish earth underneath them and prevent rain from eroding the ground immediately underneath them, but still, it looks like the rocks have just kind of popped up out of the ground. This is interesting. There's kind of a wall here, and that wall extends along this way. Obviously a man-made wall here. I am only actually 4 or 5 miles as the crow flies from Chaco Canyon, which I visited in the previous video, which is a vast collection of huge Native American ruins. That doesn't seem to be the case here. I mean, these look a little bit too shoddy, too sloppy to be Native American made, but still pretty interesting. And you wonder what the Native Americans would have thought about a place like this, because you know surely they would have been aware of this place. They would have known about this place. Did they give any significance to it? Did they think it was a like a fascinating, just natural phenomenon, or did they ascribe some deeper meaning to it? I don't know. I don't think we'll ever know. Look at this thing. How this is still standing, I have no idea, but it's like a precious stone. It's like a precious gemstone, like a diamond set in a ring. Just very improbably still held up. That's crazy. So I just came up and over this little rise here and I looked down and look at this. This is a perfect petrified log. That is amazing. I've seen a fair amount of petrified wood and petrified logs in various places in the West, like in Arizona and Utah, but this, I mean, this looks so much like a tree still, doesn't it? If you squint, it still looks like one. Then we have these smaller pieces, these smaller like logs here too, and then just thousands of little pieces, little shards of wood here. That one on my map is called the Chocolate Penguin King. This behind me here is the most famous, the best known of all of these strange hoodoos and rock formations here. This is called the Alien Throne. An awesome name for an amazing feature. And you look at it and you think, how much longer could that possibly stand up for? Surely the next storm is just going to blow that thing right over, right? And yeah, maybe, so better come see it now while you still can. This has got to be the Swiss cheesiest rock I have ever seen. And from this side here, it's even more improbable. It's like a foot and a half wide right here. This is the kind of thing that kind of epitomizes the look but don't touch saying. I think that was made for this thing. What an amazing place, this Valley of Dreams here. Although it could just as easily be called the Valley of Nightmares. You know, these kind of freakish, gargoyle, tortured shapes frozen in stone. What an amazing spot. You know, I've been to a lot of places that have interesting rock formations, and this is one of the coolest, I think. This is just an amazing place. Several years ago when I was in this area, I did a hike in the Beastie Badlands, which is, I don't know, half an hour, 45 minutes off that way. Similarly cool place. I'll put a link to that video down below also if you want to check that out. But there is another thing that I want to see in this area that I want to hike to. Most people drive to another trailhead and then hike in from there. I think I'm just going to hike cross-country from here and give that a shot. It's about 1.5 miles away. I don't think there's much in the way of anything interesting along the way, but I think once we get there, I'll be glad I made the trek. And I just noticed that it's starting to rain. That's been kind of the theme of this trip so far. That is a weird rock formation. This thing has two names. I've seen it called Momo's Wing and King of Wings. And that's so weird. It took me about 40 minutes to walk here from the Alien Throne area. And I don't know if it was really worth it. Like, this is really the only thing out here, but I'm glad I did this. I mean, I've never seen anything like this before, so for that alone, it was worth it for me. It's now several hours later. Welcome to camp. This is an awesome place. This is a beautiful canyon, very remote country, and there's a cave here, or at least an overhang that I want to go explore. I want to go see if there's anything interesting underneath that overhang. Well, I was hoping to find some ruins or rock art underneath here, but no, there's just cow pies, and that's about it. Still a neat area though. It is many hours since you last saw me. Like 6 hours since we were at the King of Wings, or Momo's Wing, whatever that thing was called. From there I hiked back to the car at the Valley of Dreams Trailhead. No issues there, but man, what a cool area that was. That was something else. And then I drove many hours, and I feel like I was just driving hours and hours and not really getting anywhere. Like, the landscape was just empty and very sparsely populated. I don't know if I can think of any other place in the West that's quite like that. Like, you can drive hours through Nevada, for example, and not see much of anything, but there are mountain ranges, you know. Nevada is just riddled with mountain ranges. New Mexico, at least this northwestern part of New Mexico, is relatively flat. I mean, obviously there is topography, there are canyons and things like that, but there aren't like mountain ranges here. And so it's just kind of rolling high desert for hours. And anyway, fun drive, fun spot to camp. Also, what are these? I thought these were yellow cherry tomatoes at first, but I mean, they're hard. What are these? Someone let me know. On that drive, services were few and far between. I think I passed like one gas station. There might have been two, actually, but the gas station that I stopped at only had regular unleaded gas. They didn't have premium unleaded. And my car, the Land Cruiser, only takes premium gas. As it says on the inside of the gas cover here, premium unleaded fuel only. And I needed gas, so I did fill up the car, but I felt a little bit uneasy doing that. I'm sure that like one tank of regular gas wouldn't hurt this too much, but you know, I don't really know that much about cars. I'm not a mechanic. Then I thought, you know what? I think there's something that I can put in there to kind of negate the regular gas. And so I went inside the convenience store at the gas station and found this stuff. This is octane booster. And it says up here on the top, if this will focus, helps restore performance, reduces knock and ping, helps improve MPGs, barely street legal, and then, you know, made with jet fuel, restores lost power and acceleration, whatever, treats up to 21 gallons. So I bought this stuff, I put it in. I don't know if it'll make any difference, but at the very least it made me feel better. I felt like I was helping out the car a little bit. So let me know if that makes any difference. Let me know if putting regular in a premium car makes any difference. And again, let me know what that plant was that I thought was a cherry tomato. Leave a comment down below so we can all see it.
It's started to rain again a little bit because, of course it has. It has rained every day of this trip so far. But we're making the best of it, making the most of it. And I hope you guys enjoyed the day's adventures. Hope you enjoyed the video. Let me know what you think. Let me know what your favorite part was. Let me know if you have any questions. I'll see you in the next one. Be sure to check out Adventure Know-How, my new site, where you can gain access to a map of all of my free campsites, plus monthly bonus videos that you won't find anywhere else. Learn more at adventureknowhow.com. And for links to everything else SUV RVing related, visit suvrving.com. Links to these sites and more will be in the video description.